Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
Hello, glad you could join us again today. This week, we're looking at the spiritual dynamics of government. And what I'm wanting to do is really lay a foundation so that we understand the connection between God's kingdom, Satan's kingdom, and earthly government. There is a much stronger connection there than we typically realize. Most people do not realize those dynamics. They do not see government as a real spiritual dynamic, but it very much is, which is also why it matters very much who we as Americans, who we put into government, because they will bring a spiritual dynamic to their administration, to their function. It is very much established. So we've looked at Daniel chapter 10, and we've seen that Satan has a structure. You know, Gabriel said, I'm going to go fight with the prince of Persia along with Michael. And basically, once he's gone, then the prince of Greece will come. And we saw that the Persian Empire was replaced by the Greek Empire. When there are changes at the level of spiritual wickedness in heavenly places, then governments change. Governments change. They're tied to it. Now, particularly on God's side, we don't really hear a lot about that. You know, Ephesians chapter 6, gives us the principalities, the powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world, the spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. But we have less insight, if you would, on God's structure. Satan is not a creator. He's copied God's. And with this, in Deuteronomy chapter 32, I want to read verse 8, and we'll read verse 9. Now, primarily we'll just read verse 8, though. It says here, when the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations. In other words, he's talking about when God established the nations. He divided them. Well, when did he do that? He did it at the Tower of Babel. He confounded their languages. And as a result of that, he created nations. He created nations with the dividing of the languages. He divided their inheritance to the nations. Notice, to the nations. When he separated, get this, the sons of Adam. The sons of Adam. This is not talking about Israel. This is talking about humanity as a whole. He divided them into nations. He divided the sons of Adam into nations. Then he says he set the boundaries of the people. He set the boundaries of the people. Acts chapter 17 says that he has made from one blood all peoples, and he has set their boundaries. Again, this is talking about all the nations of the earth, and he laid that out on into the future. Again, when did it happen? It happened when he divided them into nations. It happened at the Tower of Babel. Now notice the next part. It says he set the boundaries of the peoples, the sons of Adam, according to the number of the children of Israel. Now, my Bible right here has a little footnote, and it says angels of God. Matter of fact, in the Hebrew, if you look up like in a Strong's Concordance or something like that, you'll see that the actual phrase there is Ben Elohim, which in other places throughout Scripture, like Genesis 6, Job chapter 1, so forth, to name a couple, it's translated sons of God. And it is actually referring to angelic creatures, the angels, God, that's what it's referring to. And he says here, he set the boundaries of people according to the Ben Elohim. He set the boundaries of the nations according to the sons of God. He set them according to the angelic host. In other words, he assigned different nations to different angelic beings. Daniel chapter 12 says that Israel had Michael assigned to it. God had planned for Israel, and Michael, Daniel chapter 12, it says, is their prince. But God established this. Every nation that has ever existed, will ever exist, was determined at the Tower of Babel when God confounded the languages and set them out. He determined, before ever confounding their languages, he determined what nations would be and what their boundaries would be and what angelic beings, which angels, would be assigned to them. He laid it all out. God has a kingdom structure over every nation. Join us again tomorrow and we'll continue to look at the spiritual dynamics of government.